what we're going to do is I'm going to run you through a little bit of the online coach blueprint and really like is someone wanting to get into the online coaching space. I'm just gonna let you know all about it and how you can really scale to 10 grand and 20 grand and 30 grand a month. I am currently sitting at like 35 a month, which with this plus putting my foot down on the accelerator of fitness, it's like my biggest month last year was 40,000 a month. And then with the launch of this, my first goals that I've set is to do like bring on like 4 clients a month for this, which is at a higher price point. So that'll bring me over the sort of, around 50, 60 grand a month mark, which is cool. That's a good place to start for this. And then I can scale from there. Something that's funny is like, as I'm doing this, all my strategies for this, for say I've got an online coach that wants to grow their audience and get organic clients before they start running ads, like I'm having to do the same thing for this. So it's even like testing my own theories for the business coaching. Like obviously it worked with fitness, so I'm just pivoting it into business and doing the same strategies as I did with the fitness one. So the main things when it comes to being an online coach, you need the skill, right? First things first, you need the fucking skill. You need to know how to write training plans. You need to know how to write meal plans. You need to know how to get people results. However, it doesn't require it doesn't require a Cert 3 and 4 in fitness. I think that I speak to a lot of people and they're like, oh, I'm going to go get my Cert 3 and 4 first, just so that I know how to train people. Getting your Cert 3 and 4 in fitness isn't going to teach you dick all about actually getting people results. So in terms of skill, let's say training plans, meal plans, no Cert 3, 4 needed. I just think that's an important thing to note because a lot of people think that you do. However, a Cert 3 and 4 is literally just going to teach you how to train someone that's like 90 and has a bad hip. It's fucking, I honestly learned less about training in a Cert 3 and 4 than like it just really dumbed it down for no reason. And it just made it really shit. Like I did it and I was like, oh wow, is this what coaching is going to be? And that's when I realized I don't want to be a in-gym personal trainer, let alone the fact that let's just bump it out. So let's say you're going to go the route of a PT, right? I like to do this shit in as we go because it's a good little live demonstration. But let's say that your goal is to become a PT, right? And you want to build up that. When you start any business, I think it's obviously good to start with why you want to get into it. Let's say you want to help people and you lost fat and you built muscle, so you want to help people. That's always a good place to start. Don't get into online coaching to make money. It needs to come from a place where you're actually doing it for the right reasons and because you want to help people work on their body, work on their mindset, work on their relationship and feel better. Maybe you had a good experience with a coach that really helped you and you want to do that as well. Like that's why I got into this space. So, but sorry, before I go on, but you should always have money in mind. At the end of the day, it's a fucking business. You don't want to be 2 years down the track and making minimal fucking wage and giving every ounce of yourself to this business that is a business, but you're treating it like you don't just want to create yourself a job. Right. I think that's a massive thing. There's running a business and being a business owner and fucking making bank. And then there's creating a job for yourself where you're making at the end of the day, if you add it all up and how much you're putting in and it's you'd have been better off getting a job somewhere else because you're making minimal wage and you're wearing the stress of a day-to-day business. Like it doesn't work. So let's say to be a PT, to make 2 grand a week, you'd need to be charging 20 people $100 an hour, right? So let's say you have 20, or let's say you have 10 clients and they agree to come twice a week, right? So you got 10 clients twice a week, which means, what was I doing here? 20 PT, 20, this needs to make sense. So you got your $100 an hour session as a PT, which is pretty fucking stock standard, $100 an hour. Some people charge less, some people charge more. So 20 sessions a week, it might look like something like 10 clients twice a week, right? At the end of the day, to get those 20 clients, you need to be in the gym, randomly walking up to people and having small talk and showing them how to lift things correctly. Like that's what a gym, like a PT manager will be like, oh yeah, like the more time you spend here, the more clients you'll get. I recommend like going up and talking to clients about like their technique, but you feel like a douchebag, right? You feel like a douchebag going up to people and being like, oh mate, let me just show you how to do this. Oh yeah, like you're starting a conversation because you need a client. At the end of the day, that's why you're there. So you're starting for the wrong reasons, right? Unless you genuinely want to help that person critique their form, like it's just fucking weird. There's a weird power dynamic in that. And I feel like the client has all the power in that. Verse online. Let's go. Dun, dun, dun. We'll do that. And we'll go online now, right? So online to make $2,000 a week, there's a couple different things. You either sell $2,000 programs, so $2,000 programs, or you get to a point where you're doing, what do we also do? You sign people up on $100 a week and you've got 20 people paying you $100 a week, right? Much easier to leverage, much easier to grow, much easier to scale. And at the end of the day, if you were to continue doing this, say you put both the same amount of effort into both of these, and this got to, now you've got 40 clients at $100 a week. So now you've got 20 clients twice a week. So you've got, I don't even see, at this point, we've already reached a bit of a cap, right? You're making $4,000 a week. Yeah. So what's 4,000 times 52? So you're making 200,000, which is pretty fucking cool. 200,000, that's a lot of dough. That's pretty good. So you're making 200, you're making a bit more. Let me just quickly calculate it. So 40 times 100, hang on. Oh no, 4,000 times 52 weeks in a year. There we go. So you're making $208,000, right? If you do 40. But realistically, that's 40 hours in the gym, right? Because you're spending an hour, because it's face to face, you're spending an hour with every client, and you've got 40 sessions. So let's say Monday, let's divide 40 by 5 days in a week, right? That's 8 hours. So literally at the gym for 8 hours every single day. And that's going to be, let's say you've got 4 clients in the morning and you've got 4 clients in the afternoon, right? So you've got 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m., and 9 a.m. And then everyone's at work during the day. So then in the afternoon, you've got 3, 4, 5, and 6 p.m., right? So yes, you're making $208,000 a year, but where's your life, right? Where the fuck is your life? You spend 12 hours in a gym every day. At home, during that break, what do? You go train, you go home. Like it's not a very good system. If you're a face-to-face kind of person, cool, that's going to be your little ticket, but you're trading a lot of time for the money. Whereas with online, to get to that same 200,000 mark, right? So we go 200,000. Let's say you've got you have $1,000 program. You need to sell that $1,000 program 200 times, right? So let's say $1,000 program. And this is important. It's important to know the numbers behind all this, because the numbers is what you can reverse engineer everything once you know the numbers. Okay, so let's go 200 So $1,000 program times 200, right? So you got to make 200 sales. So every month we divide 200 by 12. You have to do 16 sales per month. Let's go equals 200,000, right? Divided by 12 months equals 16.6. So let's just say 17. So there's a bit of change. 17 sales per month, which once again, we can reverse engineer this, right? So let's go divided by 4 weeks in a month. So we got 17 divided by 4. You got to do 4 sales a week. By 4 weeks equals 4 sales per week, right? And then we got our numbers. We got our maths. We got our numbers. This is what we can base the business off. So in order to do 4 sales per week, right? So let's get rid of this because that's a shit option. Let's bring this up. So in order to do 4 sales per week so that you're making your $200,000 a year, you want to be probably speaking to, and like at the start, probably like 8 people, or let's say 10 people. So you reverse engineer it, right? We run ads and we do content and we get a lead, right? Which I've got further down. Oh, here we go. All right. So the framework of getting a client for online, and like, guys, I've got 43 pages of all this so far. Like there's so fucking much. This is everything that I've built out for the online coaching blueprint. Like it's fucking extensive. But you have marketing, which is you have paid or organic, and that both leads to a lead. Now you can also run an ad that every time someone sees this, they get this, and every time they see this, they get this. So you're just creating this ecosystem, and then you run an ad to get new people into your ecosystem. Like, oh, I've got such a good fucking formula. I'm very excited to share it with you all. Anyway, so we've got that, and that creates a lead, right? Someone reaches out, they message you, they apply, they they book in for a call. They're a lead. Now, next, you want to make sure that they're going into a nurture system, right? So they apply for coaching, and then boom, they get automatically emailed because you've got your Facebook linked up to your MailChimp, which recognizes that you've had a lead come through. So now they get triggered and they start getting a free 7-day series of emails, right? All of which is making you the expert. It's building trust with you. You send an email about your podcast, you send an email about your Instagram. So now they're listening to your podcast, they're watching your Instagram. Like by the time you have a call with them, this person should be so fucking familiar with you. Like I did 4 sales today, and 3 out of 4 were like, "Oh, bro, like I've been watching you all week. Like I love how straight up you are. I love how authentic you are," and that ties into the personal brand side of things. But if they sign up for coaching, beautiful. We have a client. If not, they go back into this little ecosystem, and it all kind of, it's just this perpetuating system that nurtures leads and turns them into, I guess, raving fans, really. So going back, so if you're doing 4 sales a week, right? So the sale, we need to be, so we've got a process. My process is I get a lead, I book them in for a call, I send them some stuff to go through, and then I have an actual sales call with them. Or they see an ad and they book directly in for the sales call, but they've still watched this video. So I could be skipping this, but either way. So if we're wanting to do 4 sales per week, I'd recommend you'd want to be speaking to 10 people, right? That's 40% conversion rate, which the better your marketing is, the better your messaging is, the better your nurturing system is, then the higher that number will be. I think I'd be at like an 8 out of 10 conversion rate. If I were to have 10 calls, I'd probably sign up 7 or 8, but let's just keep it cool and say, 4 sales. So you'd need to have 10 calls. 4 sales, 10 calls. And what I mean by calls is like the sales call. So we're reverse engineering the numbers because this is what it comes down to, right? So for sales, you'd need to have 10 calls in which you'd need 20 leads, right? Maybe 20, 25 leads, because people are not so good with their phone these days. So you get 20, 25 leads through your ads or through your Instagram, like, realistically through your ads, because you're not going to have 20 people reach out organically. But let's say you have a real good marketing strategy and you're doing everything right, then you're going to be generating these 20 to 25 leads, of which when you sit down to call, you probably speak to half of them. You probably speak to like 15 of them, in which you might book in 10 of them, in which if you had 10 calls, you'd have to be a fucking goose to only sign up for. Like that's some low numbers, but just to get a ballpark figure here, which 200,000 a year. So you'd be doing 3,846,000 a week, which if you're doing 4 sales and it's $1,000 program, right? You're either $1,000 or you're 100 a week, right? So $1,000 paid in full or 100 a week for 12 weeks. Then let's just say sales volume, that 4 sales, you're making you've sold $4,000 worth that week. Whether you just do paid in full or you do the payment plan, I recommend having both options, because then you've got reoccurring income with the payment plan, and you slowly build that up. And let's say you get to 10 people paying you $100 a week, then you've got $1,000 a week guaranteed for the next 12 weeks. And then you build that to 20 and then 30 and then 40 and then 50. And eventually you get to a point where you're doing $5,000 a week in reoccurring payments. And then let's say you get 3 people pay up front that week, you've just made $8,000 in a week. So having both options is good. So let's go back to here. Now, your ads, let's bring up my ads. Give you a little fucking insight into Facebook Ad Manager. So these top 2 are fucking awful. I should really turn them off. I typically don't let an ad get above $20. And that's really not, but it's also a VSL. So it's a different kind of ad in which they're very qualified leads. So if I'm spending $100 per lead, but they're signing up, then that's sweet. Whereas with this, it's $17 per lead, but you obviously don't speak to all of them, whereas with the VSL, they're literally booking in, they've watched the video, they're booking in, they're fucking ready to go. That's a little bit more of a qualified lead as well. So I'm trying some new ads this year, but typically these would be my results, like $15 to $20 per lead on Facebook. So let's go back here and let's say, a little smaller. Now let's say $20 per lead, right? And you need 25 leads. So 20 times 25 is $500. $20 per lead times 25 leads. So this is the one expense that you have. To make those 4 sales, you're needing to spend $500 on ads. So I spend about $1,000 a week on ads. But I typically, like last week, I signed up 9 clients. The week before that, hang on, what do we got? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So plus 4 from this week. So I've signed up 18 people since like this year. So since January 1st. So, and I've probably spent $2,500 on ads, but I've made a lot more fucking money. So the better you get, this is like loosely the system, or I guess the blueprint. And then the better you get, the better your ads get, the better your marketing gets, the better your personal brand gets. Then, for the 25 leads that you get, you might book in fucking 15 of them, in which, god damn, you should be selling to 10 of them easily. for the same amount of money, you've just made, like, for the same amount of ad spend, because you can't really, you can make your ads better to lower the ad spend and get more leads, but we can also work on your sales and your marketing, and then you make a lot more money from the same ad spend. So if you did 10 sales, then you'd be doing fucking $10,000 in sales volume, and you spent $500. So what's that, 20x your money? What's 10,000 divided by 500? Yeah, you've 20x to your money. And there's not a lot of investments that'll do that. So that's a bit of the numbers, right? Just going back to here, right? So as an online coach, you need to have a skill. You need to know your skill. You need to know what you're doing. And then your marketing comes into it. Obviously, marketing's a fucking massive thing, because without that, honestly, this is what a lot of people do. They have the skill, right? They go, oh, I can help people lose fat and build muscle. And then they're wanting to deliver this, right? They're wanting to deliver their training plan and meal plan, right? They're wanting to deliver they've built out an app, right? They've downloaded My PT Hub or Everfit, and they've built out all these workouts, and they've written up all these meal plans, and they've got online coach in their bio, and they're ready to go, right? They're fucking, they have the skill, they're ready to deliver it, but because they don't have any marketing, they have no fucking business. They have no clients. They have nothing, because their marketing strategy at this point is just online coach in their bio, and they make gay little fucking reels on Instagram with them training and some motivational thing behind it, which is super 2021. Like, it's 2025 now. That shit, it doesn't fucking work. So you need a marketing system, right? You need content, you need paid ads, you need a follower campaign. Let's just say follow me ad. You need a retargeting ad. You need email marketing, right? And then once you've got all this going, then your delivery will start to, like, you'll actually have clients because you have a marketing strategy, right? So, which before I go on to that, why do you think, like, everyone knows what Coca-Cola is, everyone knows who Pepsi is, everyone knows who Aston Martin is and Audi, and yet they're still running ads every single day? Everyone knows what Woolies is in Australia, but they still spend billions of dollars on ads every fucking year because they need to. It's a competitive landscape. If you don't run ads, think about last time you saw a Coles ad versus Woolies. And then I was at the shops the other day, and I was like, fuck, Coles just isn't it anymore. Like, Coles is, you kind of go in there and it feels like Audi, like it's dead. So Woolies would own so much of the market cap, and it's because they'd spend so much more on their fucking ads. Random example, I hadn't even thought about that, but I haven't seen a Coles ad. I mean, I don't watch much TV, but, like, yeah, at least, like, anyway. So marketing is massive, right? If you want to stay relevant, if you want to grow your business, build your business, you need marketing. And then with the delivery, you also want to systemize and automate as much as you can, right? So yes, there's still things that you do for your clients, and there's weekly check-ins and adjustments made off those check-ins, but you ideally, and this is where a big thing comes in with identifying who you actually want to work with, you need a niche, right? So this is a little side note. I wasn't even going to go too far into this today, because this is just scratching the surface. Like I said, there is a fucking lot of stuff when it comes to this, right? So when it comes to your niche, that works because you need to know who you're talking to. You need to know what skill they need, and you need to be able to systemize and automate some of this coaching service, right? You're not writing up a fresh meal plan and a fresh training plan for every single fucking client, or you're going to be there all day. If you do get to the point where you have 200 clients, then you're just not going to be, you're not going to be able to keep up with that unless some of it is automated and systemized. So your niche, you really want to know, who do I want to work with, right? Who is my ideal client? How old are they? Where are they hanging out? What are their goals? What are their struggles? What have they tried before? What are they weighing? Where do they live? Like really figure that shit out. Because let's say you wanted to target the ultra wealthy business owners who don't have time to meal prep, right? Then your marketing is going to be focused towards someone that has a lot of fucking money and doesn't have the time for meal prepping. So you probably wouldn't talk about meal prepping. I'd literally run an ad and be like, gentlemen, you're so fucking successful that you don't have time for meal prepping. You got fires to put out, you got businesses to run, you're making fucking dosh. You don't want to be meal prepping. That shit's below you. What I recommend, you're still training. However, order the food through this website and it will be delivered. I'd make it, I'd speak to a meal prepping company and get it like you organize it for them, right? They're ultra wealthy. You can charge a bit more. Maybe you charge $2,000 for 12 weeks or, however long. And you take care of the meal plan for them because they're not going to want to fucking meal prep if they're very busy and run multiple businesses, then they're not going to want to meal prep. So sort it out with a meal prep company, keep it all in house, and then you just send them selections every week, and they pick their selections, and you adjust the amounts based on their calories and their macros, which comes into the skill, and then that's how you deliver it. But your marketing, like your brand, your personal brand, your brand, like your voice, your tonality, how you dress, it would all be suited towards that niche, right? So mine, like I focus on busy dudes that don't have a lot of fucking time, but also don't like they're not average dudes, but they're not like pro bodybuilders that are going to eat plain chicken and rice 6 times a day. Like they actually want enjoyable food, and that's why I make sure that with my meal plans, like they're actually enjoyable. Like we've got steak and potatoes, honey Moroccan chicken, ginger soy beef, pesto pasta, like, and that's just 4 options out of 30. So really, like once you figure out your niche and who you want to work with, like all of your content is specifically designed for that person, and your ads, you're literally speaking to that person. So that's a little bit of an insight into the Online Coach Blueprint. It will be launching end of Jan, early Feb. I'm pushing for end of Jan. So basically, it's going to be everything that you need to know. Let's find a little page here. So we're obviously talking product and service. So like where to make your plans and your training and nutrition, how to do your check-ins, like how to actually provide your service and how to deliver it and how to systemize it and make it somewhat like semi-automatic. Obviously, it's still you doing it and everything. It's not just you're not just making code, but we talk how to actually do that. The marketing is obviously massive. So like content, ads, strategies, retargeting, lead magnets, setting up. I've literally built an entire temporary fitness. I've literally built out an entire fake fitness page. Let's go temporaryfitness.com. I've literally built out an entire, this is completely fake, but this is what I've built in the video. So like, your new coach, Bruce Wayne, hi, this is all generated by AI. Took like 18 minutes to do. Apply for coaching. So they click on that, takes them to the coaching page. This is my video for my coaching because I didn't want to sit and film an actual new one. But I built out the coaching page and, little screenshots, and there's an application that they can actually fill out, and that will book them in to your calendar, like my calendar is. So it will automatically book them in here. Like literally the whole fucking thing. I've literally built a fake website, and that's just one part. But I think as an online coach, you should have a website that actually works, and all of your content and all of your ads brings people here, in which you can then retarget people that have landed here into new ads. Like, it's a whole fucking thing. This is not just this isn't just putting online coach in your bio and expecting 30,000 a month. Like, you can make that kind of money, but you need to have a fucking system. So marketing, we go through sales and how to actually do all that and take payments and contracts, and having a direct debit company, and the actual sales process and the actual sales scripts. Mindset is what I'm filming out at the moment, which is all like business related mindset, and how to actually lead from the front, and setting up these good routines and habits that are going to help you and your business. Because at the end of the day, if you don't have if you've got a weak mindset, then just don't worry about coaching. You should tap out right now. Audience profile, so like creating that niche and the audience and figuring all that out, systems and processes, and then like the whole nurturing thing through like that's a little bit more detailed, but yeah, the whole nurturing phase, which is through like emails and automated email marketing. And as soon as someone applies for coaching or downloads an ebook, they go into a 10-day free email thing where you give out more and more value, which sort of puts you at the top compared to everyone else. So as you can see, if you're wanting to be an online coach, the online coach blueprint is just insanely, like, there's nothing else out there. I've looked. Some of them will teach you this. Some of them will teach you this and this. Some of them will teach you maybe this, and this. But they're not. We also go way back, and I help you literally screen recording, setting up an ABN, building out a website, setting up the legal, coming up with a custom domain, like absolutely everything. We go very it's start to finish kind of full package, A to Z kind of program, where if you're already established and you want to go from 10 to 20 to 30 to 40 grand a month through coaching, beautiful. We can do that. If you are a PT that maybe you have an app already, but you're really struggling to go from PT to online, beautiful. We can do that. Or if you're brand spanking new and you have the skill, right? You've got the skill necessary, but you don't know any of the marketing or the sales or the delivery, like you have no idea what you're doing, then that's also what we do. So we're going to be helping online coaches build, launch, and scale their online coaching business to 10 to 20 to 30 to 40,000 a month. And then once they get to that point, then there'll be, the next step from there. So in terms of coaching plan, it's pretty fucking good. And I will leave it there. I will leave it like that. Do we have any questions? Do we have any comments? Otherwise, I'm going to do a hard end on this, and I will leave you with that.